Hello, my beloved tribe. My name is Emily Potter, the director of the Lightworker Musicians Tribe and the Million Kisses Foundation. Today, we're going to discuss something powerful that one of our tribe brothers brought up a few days ago. So, this is word for word some of the things that he shared with us, and you might be relating to this too. Does your musical calling feel super daunting, too daunting, and it makes you shake in your boots to imagine stepping all the way in, committing all the way to your musical calling? I want to say to you, welcome to the hero's journey. This is the journey that every human on the planet has had from the beginning of time. And you get to decide today, right now, if this is something that you're struggling with, whether you're going to be the hero of your soul's journey or the coward of your soul's journey. If you decide to stay in that cowardly place, you know what that feels like, and I'm going to even illuminate it further. And I share this from my own personal experience, so this is nothing that any of us get out of, because in every single situation we have the hero's journey. This is Joseph Campbell, if you want to look up his take on the hero's journey. This is something that each one of us is overcoming, and we choose in every area of our life whether we are going to be our life's hero or the coward. And truthfully, this is the one that matters the most, is when it is your soul's purpose, your calling. So here's some of the traits and the illuminations of what it looks like to stay in the cowardly place. The first thing is that you stall. You are stalling. You just let time go by and staying in that place of fear. You are too terrified to step all the way into the calling. So you allow fear to win. And that is the definition of coward. And I'm just saying the words as blatant and as bluntly as I possibly can, because that's not who you really are. But you're experimenting with that right now. You're seeing how it feels. And what happens is that the calling becomes too painful to ignore if you decide to be the hero of your journey. So another thing that happens is that you have enormous amounts of resistances happen. Now, those resistances can happen externally and internally. So a lot of people, when they start to go on their journey, they have a little bit of faith, a little bit of courage, and then what happens externally is you get pounded by all of this resistance, which then you have to overcome. That could happen financially. That could happen with people in your life giving you all sorts of messages that bring you down. Or it could be your own resistances happening within you. All of the I'm not enough talk that you might be doing. All of the I can't because ... or allowing yourself to hide behind money. Whatever those resistances are, this is where the coward lives. This is where you stay stuck and you keep stalling and you allow yourself to just stay terrified. This is all the journey of the coward. And you allow those resistances to be more powerful than you and your calling. But good news for those of you in this tribe who are not going to stay stuck. You're just experimenting and feeling all of the feelings of what that feels like right now. And the good news is that your calling will continue to call you, and it will continue to empower you to take those steps further. And the way that it does that, listen really, really closely here. The way that your calling makes it too impossible to ignore is making you pay in pain. The pain that you're feeling, it gets too painful to ignore. It becomes too great to ignore, and you know that there's something deeper and more profound than all of these reasons to stay as a coward of your journey. So then the opposite begins, where you now are in too much pain to stay where you are, and you want to take the hero's journey. And it doesn't now stop you that your calling feels too daunting. And you are shaking in your boots still, but you are ready to take the next step because it's too painful to stay where you are. So here's some of the things, and this is word for word what this tribe brother said. That's why I want to bring it in, because then it's relevant. It's relevant to here and now of what's happening in our tribe. So take these things on, and if you're listening to this later, pause it and say these words out loud for yourself as a one step further, one step closer to you being brave and taking on the hero's journey. So here's what he said. The call to share my music has become too great to ignore. So pause and say that to yourself. If you're watching this live, come back and watch this again. The call to share my music has become too great to ignore. The next thing he said, this is the hero's journey. I have something buried inside of me that needs to be let out. That is a hero talking. Next one, I have gifts and vulnerability to share that can help heal and bring people together. That is so inspiring to hear our tribe brothers say that. So he's the one who's saying, I'm scared, I'm shaking in my boots, but it's become too painful to stay where I'm at. I have gifts and vulnerability to share that can help heal and bring people together. The next one, I'm saying my own of what he said. I'm kind of making this succinct, but he said, my songs bring people out of the darkness. Tribe, what are you doing if you're not doing that as a light worker? My songs bring people out of the shadows. The next one, my calling helps me realize I have something that I need to share. There's no greater work that you can do for knowing that you're enough and that your contribution to the whole is imperative than to actually go out there and take the risk and do it. And then your calling will give you ample evidence that you have something profound to share and that it needs to be shared. This is the hero of the journey. So which one are you? Because honestly, if you decide that you are done being terrified to step all the way in, you're going to be joining the ranks of humans from the beginning of time who are on the hero's journey. This is exactly where you begin the journey, is to be too terrified to begin it. And then you decide what you're going to do with that. You can stall, and then when you are done being terrified, this is when your journey begins. Now, you do get to have an extensive amount of support on your journey. You do not have to do it alone. Some of you want to do it alone, and go do it all alone if you need to. But if you feel that you and I are a vibrational match and you deserve to have all of the tools in your backpack before you go on your journey, private message me, reach out to me, and I will get you the same results that I'm getting the clients that I've worked with who have chosen to be the hero of their journey, the ones that are actually going out there and doing this in a successful way with all of the tools in their backpack. Private message me if you're ready to take on your hero's journey, and I look forward to hearing from you. Either way, I support you and empower our tribe to be brave and to take on your calling step by step. I look forward to hearing from you if you decide that you want support and tools along that journey, and I talk to you in the next video.